Hey YouTube, so recently we just hit 3k subs, which is just insane, and none of this would have been made possible without you guys, my subscribers and viewers, and I'd like to thank you all for making this a reality. So for this video I made a community post asking you guys to give me questions for the 3k sub special where I was going to do a Q&A, and while answering these questions I will put over the most entertaining form of AQW gameplay, some fishing. So let's start with the first question by Benny B. Benson Jr. Been an old player myself since 2013. What do you think AQW future will be and what do you wish it to be? In your opinion, is AQW in the old day better than its current state right now? By the way, congrats for your 3k subs. Okay, so I'll start with the first question. What do you think AQW's future will be and what do you wish it to be? To be honest, I don't think it'll change much its future. Like, it's been pretty stagnant for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, maybe longer, and there haven't been many new changes. Most of you guys remember ages ago Alina talking about the server rewrite, how they're going to change everything up, and it was all pretty much just not true. There's no huge server rewrite. But ever since, Spider 123 has been hired, there have been a lot of more positive changes. So maybe we should be a bit more optimistic about the future. And in my opinion, is AQW better in the old days or its current state right now? I think there are good things about the old days and new days. Like in the olden days, the storyline was really good in my opinion, the Chaos Saga. And in fact, I was planning on making a whole video just about the Chaos Saga in the future and why I think it was the best storyline in all of AQW. But the current state has a lot of good things about it too. And now there's like more newer classes and monsters and more content nowadays. But I don't think there's been any big changes to make it better. I mean, Ultra Busts have been a good addition. Naping. What do you think about AQW's funding and how they're spending nearly their entire budget on AQ3D? It's funny you ask that because I actually made a meme about this on Reddit, and let me show you. It actually got in like the top 10 most upvoted Reddit posts at one point. Why is there so much money pumped into AQ3D when it is nowhere near as good as AQW and no one is playing it? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I guess they think perhaps there's a chance of improving and becoming better, but at the state it's in and the state it's been in for years now, AQ3D cannot compare to AQW. If they put like even an ounce of like actual budget into AQW, it could be better. Or if they, try to improve it. And as we know, the issue isn't just that they don't know what to do or how to improve it, like they just don't. Like ever since Spider, they've hired Spider, he's made all the additions that have been needed for years in AQW. He's done all the small things that the main team had either not been bothered to do or just didn't want to do. One of the things they didn't do for years, which really annoyed me, was when you'd use a skill that would like buff yourself or heal yourself, you would target your own character. And so it would be difficult to attack other monsters because you'd have to click on them specifically or click away from your own character. Like that was not a hard addition, but they just didn't do it. I wants to know, any thoughts on the class match of the game? I mean, it's not great, but they're trying to improve it somewhat with the class buffs and nerfs that they've been doing recently. But I mean, even now it's mostly like a few classes that are used by everyone, VHL, LR, but they're trying to make more classes viable like Dragon of Time and Yami no Ronin. So it's heading towards a better direction. At the moment, it's not that good. Random human being, do you think auto farming is wrong? Minor AFK farming, going to Ice Tome and put in auto key presses and farming XP there. It's just botting, to be honest. It's like there's no difference. Putting auto key presses and botting, like why do one and not do the other? They're like the same thing. But so do I think botting is wrong? Ages ago, I think I used to think botting was really bad, and I would be like, everyone who's botting is ruining the game, it's so bad. But my opinion has somewhat changed over time. I mean, do I really expect people to spend months of their life trying to get items like Necrotic Sword of Doom, like as a free player? I mean, I don't know, man. If you can do it, good for you. But I think it's kind of unfair to expect the same from everyone else. I mean, a lot of games have items which are really hard to get and take really long amounts of time. But those items don't require mashing 4 keys repeatedly for hours on end. I mean, even when I farm a hard item, normally I'm watching a show and I'm just clicking keys in the background. Like, it makes no difference whether my hands do it or like a bot does it. Carlos Miguel Miquiano wants to know, for you, is the grind for NSOD justified? No. I mean, it's okay to make items that are hard to get, or take long to get, but make it consist of more than just button mashing. Like a good example of this is Arch Paladin, Dragon of Time, a bunch of other classes, Lord of Order, which require you to actually play the game rather than just mash keys over and over for hours. I mean, like, you have to be, they should make you like actually play some parts of the story or do actions that require thinking rather than just mashing keys. What do you think about botting? Is AQW's ridiculous farming requirements one of the reasons players bot till this day? Yes. I mean, I'm not saying that I approve of botting or that it's good, but I mean, the farming requirements are kind of insane for some classes or some items. Like, is it really necessary? I mean, in my opinion, if you bot, good for you. I mean, you're probably spending your time on something better, maybe. What was your favorite event or time in AQW? Easily the Chaos Saga. It is the best storyline, in my opinion, in the whole game, and it also has some of the best cutscenes in the game. Like the opening cutscene, where Drakarth kills Sepulture when Sepulture and Altion are having a fight. That is probably the main reason a bunch of players ever even started playing this game. Like, that was truly insane. And so I'd have to say Chaos Saga, best event and time in AQW. Do you have any tips on how to become an AQW YouTuber? Maybe even what software equipment to use? As for software and equipment, I use a mic and headphones, of course. And that's about it. That's like the only equipment I use. And for software, I use OBS for recording and Shortcut for editing. And my main advice for just making videos would be make videos people want to see. Like, if you have to push your videos through Discord, through other things, trying to promote it, like, that's not a good idea, because once they watch it, are they going to like the video? Are they going to comment? Do they actually care? Will they come again and watch other of your videos? So it's not the promotion that's as important, or the thumbnails or titles. The most important part is if your video is actually good, if people genuinely enjoy that video. That's how you get repeat viewers. How soon do you think AQW will die? Will AU be able to keep it afloat forever? How soon? I don't know. Well, it depends what dying counts at. I mean, it's been dying for years now. We used to have ridiculous amounts of players on like 30,000 at its peak, 30,000 at a time, and then it went down to 20,000, 16, 15, 12,000, 10,000. And nowadays we get stuff like 3,000 online. Like, that is normal now. Just 3,000. I mean, I guess I'd call it a truly dead game once it reaches below 2,000 on average. If there's only like 1,000 and something players online at a time on average, then that is what I'd say is truly a dead game. And no, AU will not be able to keep it afloat forever. There are no new players going into AQW, but there are definitely old players leaving. So how long do I give this game until it is truly dead, in my opinion? Maybe another like 5 years? Even that is kind of optimistic. What's your everyday class use, like you always use in game? Void High Lord and Necrotic Chronomancer. I always have Void High Lord. In fact, I used to only use Void High Lord for everything, like even farming. But due to the nerf range for Void High Lord and some other nerfs, I've decided I'm just going to use Void High Lord as well as Necrotic Chronomancer for farming. I also use sometimes like Arch Paladin for ultra bosses, but that's it. I barely use any other class. I use Vampire Lord sometimes for like low HP monsters, but yeah, that's it. What is your AQW timeline since the first day you played? I think I started playing back in 2011, maybe 2012, on a different account. It was called Hunter, then followed by some numbers, and I truly enjoyed the game back then. Like, I played it for the storyline, like I said in an earlier question, and I thought it was a good game. And then I stopped playing for a couple months. I forgot my password. You know, I was just a kid. Like, are you really gonna remember your password for more than like 2 months? And then I made a new account and started playing in this one, and I called it Blade Master 15131, which I've now named a Ricochet. Which one do you prefer more, ketchup or mayonnaise? This is probably gonna be my most controversial opinion yet. Mayonnaise. What class or classes do you think are overrated and underrated? Underrated? I was gonna say Chaos Slayer. I mean, it definitely was earlier until they nerfed it. And, you know, I pointed that out. Like, I made a whole video just about how good Chaos Slayer was, and I made another video comparing it with other classes, and look where that got me. So should I really say what classes are underrated right now and overrated? I'll go for it anyway. I'd say underrated classes, maybe Scarlet Sorceress. I mean, surprising amount of people don't use it. In fact, some people use Blood Sorceress and have no idea you can upgrade it to Scarlet, and just how much better it truly is. Like, I've seen level 100s with Bloodsource Rest, and they don't know they can just upgrade it to Scarlet. And for overrated, I would say Shaman. Shaman's pretty overrated. Like, people act like it's in top 5 farming class or something. It's not. Especially if you don't have all enhancements. If you do have all enhancements, it's decent, but it's not as good as a lot of people try and act like it is. Why don't you make a video on classes that need to be buffed? Maybe I will. What do you think of the current meta of AQW? If you were to change anything, what would it be? If I were to change anything, movement speed. Can we have faster movement speed? If Spider's watching this, please make faster movement speed. Also, thank you for all the other changes you have made. You have made this game a better game. What is your first hardcore item and what day did you get it? First hardcore item was Void High Lord. I got it about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. Got any favorite AQW map or location? Mine's a screen and /pines where you see Citadel in the distance. That's actually a really good question. My favorite location is probably Mount Doomskull, and not just because it looks cool, but when I first started out the game, I don't know how, but I ended up at Mount Doomskull one time, and I just really liked the look of it, and I decided, there's a really good quest here which gives you 5,000 XP per turn in. I should definitely do this. And I didn't care about the 5,000 reputation of Chaos, that's like the XP. So I'd do it every day until I got rank 10 Chaos without realizing. And that's how I got Chaos Slayer super early in the game, and it was super useful. Is there a way to enter Ricochet Gang? If yes, how? Yeah, just join the Discord, then ask a guild officer to invite you into the guild, and that's it, you're in. Can you make list support classes from underrated to overrated? By the way, congrats for your 3k sub. I mean, I probably won't make a video about this, but I'll tell you my opinion on it now. Support classes at the top would be Lord of Order, Stone Crusher, Legion Revenant, Lightcaster. I mean, some of these classes are good at stuff other than support, but you know, they're pretty good. And Legendary Archfiend is decent, but it's not used that much because like look behind membership. And if you have membership, you probably have better classes than Legendary Archfiend to use. And if AE is watching this, like, make Legendary Archfiend not a member. It'd be such a good non-member class, but it's not worth it as a member. Limited quantity shops, do we really need them? Makes players hostile towards each other, especially if it's a gold set that non-members can buy. I mean, it's a good strategy for AE to try and sell classes that aren't that good. I mean, sell items that aren't that good. I think it doesn't really matter. I've never seen any actually good items in the limited quantity shop, and so it's just not that big of a deal. If you miss it, you probably didn't miss anything that good. Get an AC package, is it worth it aside from Infinity Titan? Yeah, I mean, there's the Infinity Titan one, then there's the Firelord Summoner one, which is basically the Blazebinder class. Those two are worth it. And perhaps the Hollowborn Shadow Raptor package, which is actually the one I have, and it gives you a free house, a free bank cape, which is pretty good. And if you want a bank pet without spending like 2,000 ACs, just get a Hollowborn Shadow Raptor package. What's your favorite class and why is it no class? Yeah, so favorite class is no class because, no, I'm joking. My favorite class is not no class. It's probably Chaos Slayer, not because it's the best, just because the animations are cool, the concept behind it is cool, and the way that it fits into an actual storyline is really good too. It's actually my favorite storyline. Will you try to post more frequently? I'll try and post once or twice a week, but you know, I've got real life stuff to do as well, like school. But apart from that, yeah, I'll try and post more frequently. And a question from AUMMON, what do you think about AQW future? We love AQW, but you know what, this game is slowly dying. I mean, yeah, that's very true, it is dying, but what can you do about it? I mean, we can't do much, but obviously the AE team can. I mean, the game was going down at a really fast rate until Spider made AQ Lite, and then it slowed down even more when AE actually hired Spider. So yeah, I mean, Spider's the only person like keeping the game afloat right now. He better own like 50% of the company, otherwise he's getting like underpaid. How to get this fancy cloud you're sitting on? Watch my video, Things to Do When You're a Member, Part 1. Your fave class, Chaos Slayer, what do you do for a living? I don't, I'm like 17 and I go to sixth form, which in the UK is a thing between university and high school, or as we call it, secondary school. Your rarest item, the Enchanted Blade of Light, also my favorite item I have. Is there any way we can get free ACs with membership? Yeah, you can do offers to earn free ACs, which you can do if you go to the AQW website. and that's actually how I got my first 2000 ACs. And unfortunately I bought like a terrible class with it. Not terrible, but it wasn't good. I bought Exalted Harbinger, and as soon as I got it, it got nerfed afterwards, so it wasn't that good. But yeah, I'd recommend only doing the surveys because all the other ones are scams. Like, I did one that took me hours and hours to do, for like 5,000 ACs, and when I did it, I never got the ACs, and then I tried to contact the company who had made the offer, and I never got a response back. Anyways, thanks for watching the video everybody, and once again, thank you for 3k subs. Join the guild and join the Discord where you can participate in weekly set competitions and more.